Good day, everybody. My name is Costas Kivelos, founder of First Access Condos, and I am here today to talk to you about Westport Condos. Very highly anticipated project. We've been waiting for this. It was supposed to launch early April, right after Easter, if I'm not mistaken, and then the whole world essentially went on lockdown. So now we're finally ready to go. So before I get into, we have slide presentations, we have videos to show you, but before we get into that, one of the starting points I wanted to talk about is to explain to everybody why and how pre-construction. Now, pre-construction is much different than resale. There's lots of differences. I'm not going to name all of them. We're going to do a shrunken, condensed version just to bring everybody up to speed, because once it starts on Monday, that is the launch is going to happen on Monday. That's a term we use for the start of the sales process. We at First Access will be emailing out to everybody. We're going to email pricing, floor plans, brochure, along with our worksheet Monday night. And what is a worksheet? The other ones are self-explanatory. A worksheet is a piece of paper that you fill out and send back to us along with a picture of your ID, and that lets us know what units you are interested. You have to provide me with 3 choices. So it's not just, I want this unit and nothing else on this floor. You can do that, but your chances of being successful will become very, very low. Not that I might not get that unit. Well, I might not, because there's about 15 to 20 of us working. We're the platinum agents. That's the term they call us for the agents that have first access to these projects. And when I get all my worksheets together, that's why I'm giving you 72 hours to get them back to us. I will meet up with the sales team and the developer and basically pitch why I need X amount of units, and which ones I get will be either those, one of your 3 choices, or very similar, and I'll explain that all to you. So that is basically how pre-construction starts off. It's very rapid, very quick pace. And people are like, why do I need to make a decision right away? Well, the key to purchasing, and this is what I always talk about in our seminars, we give quarterly seminars throughout the year to my entire brokerage and to our client base. And what I tell people is the key to pre-construction is purchasing in the first round, if not the second. And the reason being that every round and subsequent round thereafter has price increases. And all real estate is an investment, whether you're going to live in it or whether you're going to be a landlord and rent it out or assign it, it's still an investment. And to make money in an investment, we want to make sure we buy at the lowest price possible and sell at the highest price possible. And for that to occur, it means we need to buy in the first round. So recap, Monday, pricing, floor plans, brochure, along with our worksheet's going to come out. You're going to have 72 hours to get back to us with your worksheet and let us know what unit you need. For people that want to attend the sales center. Now, the majority of projects nowadays don't have a sales center. And I think that's a direct result of demand being so great that developers have decided, why spend the tremendous amount of money it costs to actually build one? That's not the case with Westport. Westport, Eden Shaw, the developer, they had also sold Tanu, which is just started under construction a little while ago. It's a couple blocks away. So they had the existing sales center, the storefront, and now they renovated and made it ready for Westport. The problem was with the lockdown and the current restrictions on capacity, we cannot have the whole day a revolving door of clients coming in. So what used to happen is I would tell my clients there would be a night during the week and evening, and there would also be a day on the weekend that I would say, come one, come all, bring your family, bring your friends. The more you, the merrier. Come into the sales center. Let me do a presentation. Let me show you why and what you're buying. That's not the case now. So the inside scoop, and that's one of the reasons this is the insider info session, the inside scoop on how they're going to run this was essentially that we are going to get a few appointments every day leading up to worksheet deadline, which is the Sunday. Now, I know I said 72 hours. My worksheet deadline and our worksheet deadline is going to be before the Sunday, because before everyone else is done submitting, we've already submitted and started getting our units, or at least try to plant the seed and try to get as many units as we can. We're going to do a lot of volume at this project, so hopefully we leave no one that has submitted without a unit. We just ask for your patience. But back to appointments. When you submit your worksheet, on your worksheet, I want you to indicate whether you're free during the day, evenings, weekdays, or weekends, and if you want an appointment. Some people don't care to come into a sales center. Remember, the vast majority of projects now don't even have one. But for those of you that want to come in, I'm going to try to accommodate, but you have to understand the situation we're in and trying the logistics of trying to get everybody in with such a small amount of spaces available. So be flexible and we'll try to get you in. If we don't get you in and you want to come into the sales center before you sign, we will do our best and almost guarantee get you in during your 10-day cooling off period. Okay, so don't be concerned. And remember, just because you sign a deal, you still have 10 days to ask me every question you want. Have your lawyer call me and ask questions. If you don't have a lawyer, we can recommend a few different ones and you can take your pick. We have no association besides the fact that we use them for our own deals. Okay. So anybody that has a question can ask in the Q&A panel and I'll do my best to answer it. I'm not going to type an answer. I'll try to answer it as we go along through the webinar. Now we covered the how do we purchase pre-construction. Let's talk about why purchase pre-construction. There has been no other vehicle of real estate the past 5 years that has brought you a greater return than pre-construction. Not even close. We produce better returns percentage-wise than rebuilding and selling homes, okay, with very minimal capital expenditure and money down as opposed to building a house. Now, we have seen returns, our clients and ourselves have seen returns of plus 300% over the course of buying in the first round to when the project's ready, which is 4 years later. And this is from 2016. We would put $100,000 down in our clients at a project in Yonge and Eglinton. I think we sold 15 units there. And our clients had, on average, put $100,000 down for a $500,000 purchase. And now their units are worth $800,000, netting them a 300% return. So when you sell that project, you're going to get your $300,000 profit, and you're also going to get your $100,000 deposit back too, because all you have to do is pay off the mortgage. So Alexander asked for starting price of Westport Condos, and keep asking questions, and I'll just squeeze in answers as we go along. I will touch on that, but what I am going to say is we're going to start off, the smallest one bed is 448 square feet, and pricing is going to be around $1,000 a square foot. So you're looking at about mid 400s starting price. Now, there isn't a lot of units always in the smallest, but that's where the pricing is going to start. So why buy pre-construction? We buy it for return. Okay. Now, capital appreciation is what we're looking for here. A lot of people make the mistake of not buying a pre-construction condo or not investing in real estate because they say to themselves, well, I'm not going to make that much money renting the unit out. My response to you is, who cares? As long as the project, your property, comes close to covering the cost and the expenses and servicing your debt load, then you should be happy. And even if you lose a little bit of money every month, you should still be happy, because if you can afford to buy one of these properties, you can probably afford to have a write-off on your taxes. And I'm not an accountant, but I've been told that if you incur a loss in one segment of your income stream, then it can offset some other income, and it actually helps you at tax time. The reason you buy these is capital appreciation, is how much will my property go up in value? And the key in any type of investment is to do as little as possible and be making as much as possible. And pre-construction, the bulk of your return is being made before you even take possession of that unit. So you are getting the greater return without the hassles and pitfalls of being a landlord. Okay, so think of it as a hassle-free, worry-free investment. It's a locked-in investment for at least 4 years, but you don't have to do anything. You don't have to pay property taxes. You don't have to get insurance. You don't have to interview tenants. You don't have to hire a realtor to get you tenants, all those things. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to repeat one thing because I was asked again by Diana now. Price to use to ballpark this project until Monday when we get you actual pricing is $1,000 a square foot. Use that as a ballpark. It's a nice round number and it's an accurate number. So if you say that we're going to have one bedroom starting at 450 square feet, it was actually 448, think of them being around 450, 460,000. The way price per square foot works in pre-construction is the smaller units have a higher price per square foot associated to them and the larger have a lower. So it's a reverse correlation. So the less the square footage, the higher the PSF. The higher the square footage, the lower the PSF. So try to keep that in mind, and that'll help you guide you. But right now, I'm happy you guys are asking these questions because you should try to have your mindset and yourselves ready to, when you get the pricing and floor plans, to get those worksheets back to us as soon as possible, okay? So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna start, And if you have any questions, and I apologize for those of you that expected more of an introduction to pre-construction and an introduction of the buying process. Today, we're strictly talking about Port Credit and Westport and why to invest there specifically. And I know those of you that have watched, I host seminars all year long. Most of you see me in person, and the COVID restrictions have me doing this online. But I do quarterly seminars as an introduction to pre-construction and to teach people everything about pre-construction that they could possibly know. This is not the case. It's a beautiful day outside. We all want to go to enjoy it to some extent, and we need to be ready for Westport. So that's why we're here. So we're going to start, okay? Westport, the project is by Eden Shaw. And it is in Port Credit. Eden Shaw, we're going to speak about that developer as well. This is currently their second project in Port Credit, and they have a third one, and they're all within a few blocks radius of each other. Second. So here's a little video. So that was a video from Eden Shaw, and it was basically their introduction to Westport and the area of Port Credit. So what we saw in that video, we saw obviously the lake and lakefront property and lakefront real estate all across the planet is always at a premium. And basically it gave us an introduction to the Port Credit community. Now, Port Credit is the jewel of Mississauga. It is a small community, I think 12,500 residents. It has the lowest vacancy rating of any community in the GTA. I think it was 1.4 or 1.2%. Only 86 newer condos went up for lease last year, and I think it was 83 or 85 of them that leased out, something like that. It's ridiculous the amount of, the limited amount of inventory that's available there. And the beauty and the joy of Port Credit and the vibrant feel of it, you'll actually get to see it in our last video, which will have myself walking through the sales center and seeing Port Credit last Friday night. We dropped by the sales center. We were lucky enough for them to allow us in so we could record everything. And you're going to see just the hustle and the bustle, and even during times of lockdown, how everybody's out enjoying themselves. And that's the key. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the project a little bit now. Westport, it's by Eden Shaw Developments, the interior designer Ciccone Simone. And why did we include that? Well, they do some of the best finishes in the business. The nicest nicest finishes that I had seen last year was at a project called 55C in Toronto, and they were the architects that designed that. It is very similar here. And that building was trading at $1,400 a square foot last year, and you're getting the same finishes in a project for $1,000 a square foot. Same caliber, same level. Now, we're going to have 22 stories at the tower section, 14 stories on what we're calling the podium section. So it's basically a 3-tier building, okay? So we start the first tier, and then we go to the 14, and then we go to the 22nd. Excuse me. Up until the 14th floor, we're going to have 9-foot ceilings. From the 15 to 22, we're going to have 10-foot ceilings. Now, as an end user, that makes a big difference. I've lived in both 9 and 10-foot ceilings, and 10 feet just feels a lot bigger. It makes your space feel more comfortable. Would I spend the extra money necessarily if I was an investor? Personally, no. For an end user, yes. So keep that in mind when you're making your decisions. We're going to have 359 square suites, sorry, and we're going to start at 448 square feet for a 1-bed and 1135 for a very, very large 2+ den. We don't have any traditional 3 beds, I was told, but we do have 2+ flexes, and the flex is the term they've given to dens in the past few years that can be converted to a bedroom. Amenities, over 15,000 square feet, and we have close to 300 units of residential parking. Now, for those of you that have invested with us before, for those of you that listen in and tune in and hear me speak and honor me with the privilege, of course, I have usually said one thing over and over when it comes to parking. Parking is available for 2 bedrooms and larger only in the first, second, probably third round. That's not the case. They are allowing parking for, I think, any unit 560 square feet and larger. That's 560 square feet and larger. And the price of parking is going to be $55,000. Now, one of the people watching asked me, is parking and locker included? I would never buy a project where parking and locker is included. And I'll tell you why. When there is demand for a project, no developer will ever include those things. Now, parking costs the developer probably the same, if not more, to build than it does to sell. Okay, when you factor in the land value, the excavation, and everything that takes for it. So they don't want to build parking spots. There's no money in it for them. So for them to be giving them away, including locker space, then there's something wrong with the project, okay? So never ever invest in a project. And remember, this is pre-construction, this is real estate. Nothing is free. And anytime you see free, okay, ask yourself why. Our tentative occupancy is going to be fall 2023. This is going to be about a 3.5-year, actually a 3-year build, because it'll take them about 6 months to start construction. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, here's some info about Port Credit. Okay. The average selling home price in Port Credit is 1.1 million. Okay. Making it one of the GTA's most affluent community. Well, I was right about the vacancy rate. It's 1.45. There's over 225 kilometers of scenic walkway, parks, trails. Okay. Over 400 businesses in Port Credit alone. That is fantastic. Like, think that small community of 12,500 people, if I'm not mistaken. There's over 400 businesses. So it has a very lakefront community, seaside town feel, almost like a little tourist area, but it's very cozy and comfortable, okay? I like to compare it to Europe, but you can't really compare Europe, but it's a very walkable community where everybody walks around and does their daily shopping and so forth. It has average household income that is approximately 20% higher than Mississauga and Toronto, okay? And last year, Mississauga City Center had almost 1,600 listings, or Port Credit had 89, okay? Property values increased by 25% when you're close to water. That's from RE/MAX 2016. And property values increase by up to 40% when they're near transit hubs. Now, we're going to be talking a lot about transit hubs, and if we don't talk about it enough, let it fuse into your mind and your psyche. Port Credit is going to become a transit hub, okay? It has the GO station that's already there, and it's at the GO station is going to be the base and the foot of the Euro-Ontario LRT. So you're going to have a train line taking you east to west and a light rapid transit taking you north and south. Currently, 322,000 people annually take the GO train through Port Credit, okay? $4.6 billion is being put into the project by the government and Metrolinx to create a new infrastructure. Education, we have 4 top-ranked schools within a 15-minute drive and over 30 scholastic centers. Okay, why Westport? We're 22-minute walk, to the Port Credit GO station with bus and train, okay? And we're also gonna be the same. It's less than a 2-minute walk. It's 25 steps across the street, and then you gotta walk a little to the west. So it's really a minute walk. So in one, you can see from the lobby, you can see the GO station. You cross the street, less than a minute, you're on the GO station, you're on the GO train or bus. And by the time this is built, within about 6 months after that, the HRT is going to be ready, the light rapid transit, your Ontario line. That's also going to be a minute away. You're 27 minutes on the train from Union Station in rush hour. It takes you longer living in Toronto to get to Union Station and get to the financial district if you're not walking there, okay? 3 minutes to the upcoming your Ontario light rail transit, which will feature 19 stops along 18 kilometers connecting Brampton and Mississauga. That's going to be summer, fall 2024. You're a 4-minute walk to the MyWay transit stop at Park Street. That's the Mississauga transit line, okay? 5 minutes to QEW, which connect you to 427, 401, 407, and 403. 7 minutes to Sherway Gardens, okay? That's one of the largest, most well-known shopping centers in the GTA. I think you're 9 minutes to Square One. These are both drive times. And it recently underwent a $380 million expansion. And you have top-rated schools and campuses, University of Toronto, Humber, over 20,000 students, all in close proximity. So this is what I said before. Proximity to transit hubs increase property values by approximately 40%. Proximity to, and that was from the Financial Post. We don't make these things up, okay? My numbers might be a little off by a percentile or two, and that's because I don't go with the script, I just flow. So this is a lot for memory, but that 40% increase in property values is from the Financial Post, and that is proximity to transit hubs, being near or on one. Proximity to water increases property values by 25%. That is from RE/MAX in a study they did in 2016. Now we're gonna get into another video for you. So that was the video talking about transportation. So now I'm going to show you what it's going to look like and how it's going to be a transit hub. So what we see here is a map, okay, of the multiple GO lines and the HRT. That's the term, that's what I like to call it, as opposed to HLRT. So as we can see, we have parallel to Lakeshore, we have the GO line, and it goes from Clarkson all the way to Union Station, and it stops in Port Credit. And you have your 3 stops before Union, so that takes 27 minutes. And then you see north of that, the other GO line, and then above from Brampton to Union Station, and I think that is part of the UP Express as well, if I'm not mistaken, okay? Or the UP Express runs parallel to that as well. So you have 3 GO lines, and then you also have here from Brampton Gateway Terminal to Port Credit, and I think it's going to be 18 stops along that line, if I'm not mistaken. That's going to be the HLRT. So as you see, Port Credit all of a sudden became a transit hub. You don't need a car. You can get to anywhere basically in Mississauga or the city of Toronto without a vehicle. And with the price of real estate going up, people tell me, how do you think people still need a car? And I said, what we started to see when ride sharing programs first took off, and I don't know if this was 10 years ago, 8 years ago, but we saw an exodus from having their own vehicle and people relying more on public transit and more on ride sharing. And what happens when you don't have a car? When you don't have a car, on average, you save anywhere, and I'm talking about your lease or your finance, your maintenance fees, maintenance expenses, your gas, your insurance, you could be saving up to, on average, about $1,000 a month. $1,000 a month with current interest rates allows you to service $250,000 extra in mortgage. So you could buy a $250,000 more expensive home as opposed to having a vehicle. And a lot of people that live along these transit hubs have started to do that. So like we said, we're 25 steps to Port Credit GO Mobility Hub and future your Ontario LRT. Remember what I told you. We are literally across the street from the GO station, okay? And 322,000 riders go through it annually. We're 15 minutes via the future LRT to Mississauga City Center, 27 minutes to Union on the GO. Metrolinx and the government is pumping in $4.6 billion to create the Port Credit Mobility Hub, and you're a 14-minute drive to Pearson. Port Credit is very, very close to Toronto. Now, for those of you not too familiar and haven't done the drive, even I, who've spent a lot of time researching and focusing on this area and this project to prepare for this, still can't wrap my head around it, how it's a 7-minute, 8-minute drive to Sherway. It's really close, and Sherway is in Etobicoke, so it's closer than you think. Now we're going to do a little video about Port Credit. Okay, sorry everybody. I'm just trying to answer the questions as I'm doing this as well. Okay, we're slides. Okay. So hold on. What we saw in that video is basically an introduction to Port Credit. Now we have a nice little piece written about it. I'm going to dictate it. Picturesque Port Credit, also known as Mississauga's village on the lake, is enfolded by beautiful parks, bike trails, and a scenic landscape. Port Credit's Main Street is effectively known as one of Canada's most successful and energetic places to live and thrive. Port Credit offers an array of award-winning festivals, events, and world-class restaurants. You'll discover a place where you can stroll and explore over 400 businesses, including retail, shops, boutiques, restaurant, bars, cafes, and services. Take in the events, parks, marinas, music, dining, and simply explore. I remember back in my single days, I used to love to go to Port Credit as a date spot. It has a lot of charm. It's very romantic. And it just has, like I said, I keep talking about its energy. It has a great energy. It's a nice, safe community, fairly affluent. The shopping's great, the food is great, and everything we talked about is real about this place. So if you have not been to Port Credit and you're thinking about investing there, it's a beautiful weekend to go, or maybe during the weekend. We're going to have a stretch of fantastic days, hot and humid, but still sunny. And here in Toronto, especially, our weather is a roll of the dice. So I think we should really take advantage of it, and you guys should go check it out. It's a fantastic area. Go take the family, go with your significant other. It's a beautiful place to go. And what I'm going to do, like I said, in the video that we took at the sales center, we actually went on an evening, a regular Friday evening, and it was packed, and you'll see the energy. Okay, so there's specialty stops, arts and culture, food and drink, and really welcoming. And it's almost a destination spot, Port Credit. A lot of people go there from outside of Port Credit. So although the population is 12,500, it'll feel a lot more, but you won't feel like a tourist town outside of the country where it's just overrun at the summer. It doesn't feel like that. It has an iconic lighthouse and memorial park, set the stage for year-round festival events. It also has a fantastic place to decompress and enjoy nature. It's a balance of both, and that's why it's like a village on the lake. You feel like you're up in Muskoka or something like that, but you're really just like 7 minutes from Sherway, 27 minutes on the go from Union Station, 9 minutes to Square One. And this is an example of different pictures, like the farmers market. It has a little race there for a fundraiser. Winter and Port Credit's great. They have like I think a jazz festival, some buskers, and this is just a cross. It's like a collage. There's an Easter festival. It's a collage of everything happening. So it's great fun for the whole family, essentially. So it's a 6-minute walk from where we are here at 28 Ann Street for Westport. It's a 6-minute walk to the Port Credit Farmers Market. And there's over 15 festival events and community gatherings that take place every year. So if we were to spread those out, the majority of those are going to be in the summer. You might get one every week or so, or one every couple of weeks. So there's always something to do, and you can be local. And I know right now I'm talking from a perspective of an end user, but this also applies to your tenants. We should all know that about 70-75% of new condos are purchased by investors. So it won't just be for you as an end user, but it'll be for you, because 3 out of every 4 of you are going to be buying for an investment. It'll be for your tenants. And the quality of life for your tenant will allow them to stay there longer. Okay, you won't have to worry about turnover, and they'll also enjoy living there as well. And then they'll tell their friends about it and so forth. Like I said, there's over 30 scholastic centers, 4 top-ranked schools. Now, this is what I'm really, really excited about. This was a picture taken by us of the kitchen, okay? Ciccone Simone is the architect, the designer. And remember, I told you that they build the best kitchens and design the best kitchens in the business. So this kitchen will be standard. Custom millwork in all kitchens and washrooms, providing you extra space and storage without foregoing a sense of style. The fine details implemented by the developer make every suite stand out and truly provide you a beautifully appointed and finished product that you can embrace and call home. Or for those of you investing, your tenants can embrace and call home. Now, as we can see here, there's a lot of a wood feel, natural appeal to it. Okay, it's trendy and modern, but it'll also stand the test of time. And one thing I'm going to point out again when I do a walkthrough is this: if you can see, there's no real traditional backsplash. What they've done is they've ran the pattern of the cabinetry along the backsplash, and they built shelves. And to make it easy clean, they put a piece of glass behind the stove. Okay. Now, this is simple, but yet it's brilliant, because everybody has a shortage of space in condos. And this takes and alleviates some of that because it increases the storage. This is another angle. This was actually not our pick, but when the rendering that was given to us. It has a deep sink, glass in the back behind the stovetop, built-in microwave, built-in stove. You have a panel dishwasher and a paneled fridge as well. Now, amenities. There's over 15,000 square feet of amenities for you to enjoy. We have a 24-hour concierge, a co-working hub, which has become ever so important currently, given the state of the world, with a private boardroom, lounge and kitchen, state-of-the-art fitness facility, yoga studio, kids zone, which is also very important, because back in 2016, I was in the Toronto Star, and I said families are going to start living in condos, and people are going to give up square footage. I mean, they're going to give up square footage for location. It's also going to have parcel storage, pet spa, outdoor dog run, 15th floor east and west lounges, okay? Especially with this rooftop patio that we can see here. This is going to be on the 15th floor, and it has majestic views of the skyline, okay? Toronto skyline. The lounges are going to have catering kitchens, dining rooms, cocktail lounge, and 2 hotel-appointed guest suites. Now, this is really important. They stopped doing this for a period of about 3-4 years, where they stopped building guest suites in the majority of condos. This guest suite option is phenomenal. For the fraction of the cost of a hotel room, your friends and family are from visiting from out of town, you can rent one of these for them, and they can be living next to you, but not with you. And again, space is limited in condos, so why should we pile in extra people? We want to spend time, we want to entertain, we want to have our family visit us, but now you guys are still in the same building, but you're not on top of each other, okay? It also has a rooftop terrace with barbecue, cabana, lounge, and fire pit. Okay. I just played that video earlier. That's okay. So like we said, we're 5 minutes from the lake. Here are some of the views now. Oh, and what the video was, and I'm sorry I got a little out of track there. The video was basically going to say that although we have these indoor amenities and amenities in the building, nature has created the ultimate amenities right around us at Westport. You're surrounded by parkland, you're surrounded by nature reserves, you're surrounded by the Credit River, the lake, and all this you can enjoy, and this is created by nature. It's an amenity that you can't buy, you can't create. It is there for you if you live in Port Credit and essentially nowhere else, okay? So we have a west-facing view here. The ceilings are going to be, like I said, 9-foot smooth finish ceilings from the 2nd to 13th floor. 10-foot smooth finish ceilings in the Upper Westport collection, which are floors 14 to 22. And here we can see this will be a southeast facing corner unit. And we can see just the way they've designed and the mantra and the color scheme. It's very clean, it's very modern. It's a great sense of style at the same time that'll stand the test of time. And it's all windows, floor to ceiling windows are standard as well. 2,700 square feet of retail space on the southeast corner. Now, why is this important to me and would be important to you as an end user or an investor? People want to live in condos because it's ease of life and quality of life. Having one store medium-sized in your building that'll either be a cafe or some type of marketplace will be making your life that much easier. Everyone forgets stuff at the grocery store, okay? Everyone forgets something that they needed to pick up before they got home. What we have here is usually 9 out of 10 times, like I said, it's a cafe or a grocery store. You can just walk downstairs, pick up what you need, and come back up. You want to meet a friend for coffee, you want to have a coffee before or after work, or you want to go grab a drink, this will probably be the place for it, okay? It'll just make your life that much easier. Now, Eden Shaw has started a smart home system and has incorporated one, and they call it Eden Shaw Elevated. They started with Tanu, which was the project that is under construction a couple streets over, and that had similar finishes to Westport, but they were larger units, so they were more end-user focused. We're here at Westport, more traditional current condo sizing, a balance of investor end user. And they had this incorporated there. Now you can do everything on this system, from see who's buzzing to get in, from opening the visitor parking door, garage door for your friends or family that's coming over, to unlocking your suite, to seeing in your suite. It's really fantastic. Now it makes everything simple, convenient, so you can enjoy the lifestyle and home you truly deserve. And this is getting into Eden Shaw Elevated. It's a concept of living that connects every facet of life into an interrelated experience. Beautiful design to soothe your aesthetic soul, extraordinary building amenities to entertain and celebrate, the ultimate in technology, connectivity, sustainability to provide convenience and security, a connection to the community around you. Eden Shaw Elevated is a state-of-the-art collection of smart home and smart building features designed to make life easier, efficient, convenient, and more connected. Access through your in-suite touchpad or your smartphone. Okay, the Eden Shaw Elevated app allows you to control your smart home technology from anywhere in the world at any time. So no matter where you are, you have control. So if you have a delivery and you want to let the person actually bring it into your unit and you're traveling halfway around the planet, you can open the garage door for them, unlock doors, and then lock them right after and watch them throughout this whole time. So it is truly fantastic. And again, it's back to the reason of condo living, to make your life easier. And this we're going to get into, okay, and this will be in the brochure as well. I'm not going to blow this up so we can read it, but it is basically an explanation of the smart home living and what it can do. Now, let's get into some sample floor plans. So what we have here, hold on, I'm trying to make it smaller. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to try to get Nav to make this a little bit smaller for us. But what we have here is unit 1N1E, okay? And it is facing northeast, and it is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and this is one of the smaller units. And it is 449 square feet. Exterior is 43 square feet. That is the balcony, okay, for a total of 492 square feet. One. Here we go. Okay, so this is an example, and I wanted to, like, I received a couple sample floor plans, and the reason I wanted to show them to you is so you can get an idea of what the floor plans are like. Now, a couple buildings come along every year, and basically their footprint or their layout of the way it can be built is designed like almost per order for a condo, and this is one of those buildings. So what happens is you have a lot of square floor plans, and there's a lot of windows. The units aren't too deep. And when you have a building that has deep units, you don't have a lot of natural light because the units tend to be narrower and longer in. These are more squared. So this is essentially a perfectly square floor plan. And this is a fantastic 1-bedroom unit. And as you can see, the bathroom's not across from the kitchen. Okay. It's windows in both the living and the bedroom. So this is a sample of one of the units, and again, this is essentially facing north, but really it's a little bit like northeast. Now, another thing I want to say is, usually everyone's like, I don't want a north view, I don't want a north view, because they don't think they're going to get a lot of natural light. That's not really the case, because the way the sun sets in Toronto, because we're not built perfectly at the center of the axis, okay, we're actually tilted a little bit. So what a lot of people think is west is actually a little northwest. So a lot of units that face north still get some sun in the summer, and they're also not as hot in the winter. And you have a fantastic view from the second floor and higher here facing north, because the ground floor is double height ceiling, so you're almost 20 feet above the ground. And then you have clear views across the tree-lined streets and all the nice homes that are north of us. Mississauga Road is a couple streets over, so some of the most expensive homes in the GTA are there. And then you see the Mississauga skyline, and this is all from your north view. Now we're going to have a 1-bedroom in flex. And remember what I told you, flex is the term that they give to dens that can be converted into small bedrooms, some larger than others. So what we have here is 539 square feet interior and 47 square feet exterior. So this unit faces west, okay? And as we can see, we walk in through the entrance. We have our closet on our left, our washer, dryer, and our AC unit to the right. We have the bathroom that has an entrance from the bedroom and the hallway as well. We have a nice living and dining area and a little nook that goes in that you can fit your TV. And then we have a den that's 7x8, if I'm not mistaken, which can fit a small bed. This would be a really nice investor suite. And what we have here is another 1+ flex, in my opinion. The den is 8x8, 8 feet 8 inches by 8 feet, so say by 9x8. You could definitely fit a bed there, and they show you a couch that pulls out. So you walk into the unit, to the right is the den, to the left is the bathroom. This has 2 bathrooms. So essentially this could be rented out as an investor, as maybe you could pitch it as similar to a small 2-bed, 2-bath. You could, if you wouldn't want to use it at an office. And in my opinion, a lot of people are starting to buy 2-bathroom, 1+ dens, as opposed to two beds and 2 baths. And the reason you're seeing a lot of it is price per square foot. These are traditionally a little bit smaller, so you save a little bit of money, and you have the option of having 2 adults rent this out, a single parent, etc., etc., etc. Okay. This unit would be facing east, as we can see the arrow. Thank you, Hannah. And it has a larger balcony. This is a full width balcony. It's almost 90 square feet, and the unit is just under 630. And here we have a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. This is another very good investor suite. It's 742 square feet. It has an interior bedroom, but a lot of bedrooms are interior now. For their second bedrooms, that's 9x7 3/4 almost. We have a bathroom when you walk in on the left, the first bedroom on the right, your washer and dryer. You walk into the kitchen, there's an ensuite for the master. The balcony is off the end of the living room, and there's glass and windows across the base of it as well. So now to talk about Eden Shaw. Who is Eden Shaw? Well, they've been in the business for a while now. I think it was over 20 years they've been into it. And they believe buying a home is about more than just investing in a property. It's about building a long-lasting connection to the community. And I'm going to touch on that. They're already building one project in Port Credit. They're going to build this project, and then they've acquired the land for another project, which is a couple blocks away. So they're going to build 3 projects in Port Credit, and I think there may be a 4th. So why Port Credit? Well, Port Credit is an area that's just exploding with expansion. There's a huge project, a mega project being built on the other side of the Credit River called Brightwater. And a lot of people ask me about, well, why am I going to invest at Westport as opposed to Brightwater? Well, here's the thing when it comes to condos. If you live in an area and you buy a condo at the only condo building in the area, its price per square foot would be lower than if there were 10 condos in that area. Condos are one of those things where the more condos, the better, the more people don't want to live there because it's almost like a condo community. Port Credit's going to become like that, but it's still going to maintain that small village like Lakefront Village feel. Another reason why, that's why Port Credit, but why Westport over Brightwater? Well, here's the thing. When you buy in the first phase of a master plan community, you will make money. And when you buy first in anything, you will make money, okay? The reason I would choose this, and our clients are going here over the other project in the master plan community, is when the first tower is completed in the master plan community, the whole area will still be under construction. So if you're ready, you're building in 4 years. The whole area is going to take about 15 years to complete construction. So essentially, to some extent, either you or your renters will be living in some type of construction zone. So what happens is when that occurs, and we see that in the occupancy phase, while the building's still kind of under construction as opposed to the registration phase, rents are a little lower, selling prices are a little lower. So you're not going to receive the full coup and full maximum appreciation until the area is completed. Here at First Access Condos, our investor platform and investor strategy is to sell by year 4 or 5. And I'll get into that in my late August seminar where I explain everything to you. But by year 4 and 5, you're right smack in the middle of construction time at Brightwater. So for us, Eden Shaw and Westport is the way to go. You sell when the maximum appreciation curve starts to slow, and then you reinvest somewhere else. But what Eden Shaw is doing, like I said, is they're going to build 3 or 4 projects in Port Credit. So they basically get a foothold in the community and build up, and they've chosen Port Credit to do that. Inspired by the meticulous executed designs and fine craftsmanship of Haida master woodcarver Charles Eden Shaw, we craft homes for modern living while paying homage to our past and looking towards the future. Okay, Charles Eden Shaw was a master Haida woodcarver. And if you see the totem poles in BC and so forth, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Haida that did them. Okay, they were the indigenous people of the West Coast. So what they're trying to do is follow that tradition and basically made it part of their mantra, and to say that they're going to try to build homes with the same meticulous craftsmanship that Haida skilled wood carvesmen put into their art. And as you can see, like I told you, their finishes are the best in the business and can go up against anybody. So they're really practicing what they preach. We strive to build beyond expectation by developing neighborhood-centered communities that are as progressively developed as they are attractive. Thoughtfully designed and carefully planned, we combine innovative materials and technology with construction expertise to champion sustainable building practices with every community we create. So here, okay, they're basically, what they value is respect, craftsmanship, innovation, and sustainability. And Eden Shaw, like I said, when you get a chance to see their finishes, you will understand that their mission is their vision. Okay, and they're really trying to practice what they preach, and they do that in the work that they put into it, the care of the thought process that they do. Here are some projects that are currently under construction. Tanu, it's at 21 Park Suite, which is a couple streets over, and this is a mid-rise condo, and it's similar finishes to Westport, but larger units, so more end user focus. We also have the Residence of Gordon Woods in Mississauga. We have Alto on Dundas Street West, and we also had Chaz right in the heart of Yorkville, okay? Just south of Blue on Charles Street. And these are all completed projects. Coming soon, we're gonna have 625 Yonge Street, 46 Part Street, that's the other project in Port Credit, and they're also gonna have 1 Fairview Road East in Mississauga. So this is not your fly-by-night, one-time developer. They've been in business for decades, and they're all currently live and active, and they're building and acquiring land, and there's a pipeline essentially of projects for them. So before we go into a little slide, this is obviously, you know, our website, firstaccesscondos.com. That's how you register for this project. My name is Costas Kivelos. I'm the founder. Hannah Sun, she's my partner. She assists me on everything. Okay, she does a lot of the emails that you receive. And what we're gonna do now, before we get we wrap it up for the day, and I let you get back to enjoying your day, we're gonna go into my final video, which is your tour of the sales center. So like I said, a lot of people, for good reason, are concerned about going and mingling and going out in crowds. So what we did is we brought the sales center to you with this video. It's a Friday night in the summer. The area is just packed with people. There's a great energy in the air. The activity is great. And what I'm going to show you here is, if you want to just pan out and take a look at everybody. Reason First Access Condos is here is to bring to you Westport. It's the most anticipated launch in Mississauga in quite a long time. It's going to be the #1 condo destination in Port Credit. Let's go into the sales office. It's not open yet. Let's go in and take a sneak peek. So as we can see here, we have a very modern, contemporary feel, clean lines, a lot of Caesar stone, a lot of quartz. Okay, it is very trendy, but at the same time, something that will look nice in the years to fall. We're going to see here first, we're going to see here steel models. This is a depiction of the actual building built to scale. As we can see here, the building faces east to Ann Street, south to Park Street, and north to Queen Street. We're going to have unobstructed views of the lake from the 5th floor, facing south, also facing east. From the west, we still have lake views, but the There will be a building over 100 feet away that will block some, but you will be able to see from the periphery. From the north, and this is the beauty. Usually we don't really like north views unless we're an investor, but end users try to shy away from it. Not at Westport. At Westport, you really should consider a north view. The reason is, with a double height ceiling on the ground floor of almost 20 feet, from the second floor north, you have clear views of beautiful tree-lined streets, all the great homes in down Mississauga Road, and also you get to see Mississauga's majestic skyline, a skyline that, mark me, in the next 20 years will be comparable to downtown Toronto.
So let's watch
and see what we have in the building here.
We're gonna have our entrance.
We're gonna have our entrance off and
To
street.
the south of it, we're gonna have a 2,700 square foot commercial space, only one commercial space for the building. Most likely it's gonna be a cafe, restaurant, or a small market. Very convenient, making your life while you're living here or where your tenants living here much easier. On the 14th floor, above the 14th floor, on the 15th floor, we have a rooftop terrace with cabanas, barbecues, an outdoor and indoor eating space. We have a party room that you can rent. We're gonna have 2 guest suites that can be rented out as well, a sports lounge, a co-working space. Everything has been thought out of. But once we start on the 15th floor and higher, we go from 9-foot ceilings that we had all the way up to the 14th to 10-foot ceilings. So if you're looking for a space, maybe you're smart sizing, maybe you're deciding to live in a condo for home, or maybe you're going from your old condo to a new one, definitely this could be a place to think about, okay? So like we said, 9-foot ceilings from the ground up to the 14th, 10-foot from the 15th up to the 22nd. We have 22 stories throughout the whole building. And think of the building being split in 2 but connected. We have a podium of 14 on the south side, and to the north side, a tower with 22. On the ground floor, we're gonna have an outdoor yoga area, a state-of-the-art fitness center, a kids club, a dog walking, and a dog pet washing center as well. Now, if you wanna follow me over this way, I am gonna show you one of the nicest kitchens I've ever seen standard. Remember, Ciccone Simone was the architect, the designers for this project. They have brought us some fantastic projects before. Look at this kitchen. We have our quartz countertops, high-end appliances, deep sink. But here's what I love. Something so simple but yet brilliant, no one's done it before. Instead of a traditional backsplash, because we all know condo living, there's a shortage on space and storage. What they've done is they've taken a backsplash and turned it into extra shelving space. And then they put a piece of glass here that's easy to clean when you're cooking. You have the under cabinet lighting standard. Everything you see here is standard. You have your paneled fridge, paneled dishwasher, your stove, cooktop, microwave. Now, the only thing that you see here in this kitchen that is an upgrade is the island. Usually at First Access, we don't push options on our clients or tell them to buy upgrades. But here, look at this. How's that for saving space? Fantastic. I almost feel like saying, ta-da! Again, something so simple, but nobody has done it. And that's one of the things about Eat & Shop. Their finished product can not only be compared to any other developer in the industry, but I would say they win almost 9 out of 10 times. Their standard finishes, and I've been saying this to everyone I've spoken to, are better than the majority of developers' upgrades. So when you buy an Eat & Shop product, this is the type of finishes you get. This would be a typical living area. And of course, we have to see the bathroom. Similar design schemes, contemporary clean lines. But if we see here, even the mirror, which will be standard, that opens up to a large medicine cabinet. We have more storage to the right. And then we also have storage to the left. We have tall all the way up to the ceiling in the shower. We have a rain head and a handheld. And from someone who sees condos daily, looks at floor plans, sees finishes, these are some of the best. So over here, we're gonna see our 3 different color schemes. And about a year and a half before occupancy, when you do get your unit, a year and a half before occupancy, which will be about 2 years from now, they will call you in, you'll meet with one of their interior designers, and then assist you in picking out a color scheme. And again, we go from a darker scheme to light to more of an in-between neutral. So that's basically it for today. Stay tuned. And the reason we wanted to do this is during this very difficult time of uncertainty, and a lot of people are not comfortable coming into sales centers, and that's why we will be signing all our deals online to give you peace of mind and to keep you and your family safe as well as our own. Okay, we are doing this to bring the sales center to you. We will be having some very short timed appointments in the actual sales center, but don't be concerned. If you're not comfortable coming in or you can't make it, it's videos like this that allow us to bring the sales center to you. Thank you very much for your time.
So welcome back. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that. Like I said, it's a fantastic project with fantastic sales center. The area essentially in the project, this project and area check all the boxes. So if you had a list of needs and wants, you almost check every single one with this. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to recap what is going to happen and what needs to be done come Monday. So on Monday, we are going to send out, probably in the early evening by the time we get it and package it, we're going to send out our info email. It'll be through MailChimp again. It'll have links, and you're going to have the pricing, the floor plans, the deposit structures, the incentives, and the worksheet. So floor plans, that's self-explanatory, okay? You're going to go from 1 bedrooms, 1 plus dens, 1 plus flexes, 2 bedrooms, 2 plus dens. You're going to have everything essentially that, and I don't think there's going to be any 3s here. That's what I was told. Is a little surprising. There's not the requirement for 3 bedrooms in Mississauga as there is in Toronto. There is no government mandate to have them, but they do have large 2 and plus dens that will essentially be 3s. We'll wait and see. Deposit structure. People are asking me about deposit structure. This is going to be a very extended deposit structure. So usually the rule of thumb is you need to put 20% down on a condo in a new construction condo. So what has happened is they used to say that you need to put your 20% down over the course of a year and a half or a year, not at Westport. What my source told me was that you are going to put down $5,000 at signing, 5% the balance to that at 30 days. It's going to be something similar to this, so I might be off a month or 2. And then in 3 months after that, so at the 3-month mark, you're going to put 2.5%, another 2.5% at 6 months. So by 6 months, you put down 10%. A year later, so a year and a half from signing, you're going to put another 5, bringing you to 15%. And then your final 5% bringing you to 20 is going to be at occupancy, which is going to be fall 2023. So that is a very, very extended deposit structure, okay? Assignments. From what I know, it's going to be free assignment, okay? That's for the platinum round. That's the incentives, okay? As well as the extended deposit structure. So free assignment, no matter if it's free assignment or not, the person doing the assigning has to cover the developer's legal fees, but they're anywhere from $500 to $800, but it's not the $5,000 assignment fee that everyone has to pay if it's not included. You will have the right to lease during interim occupancy, okay? We do not put our clients into projects that don't have that right given to you, okay? And what else did everyone want to know? Parking is going to be $55,000. It's going to be available to units that are 560 square feet and larger, okay? Lockers, I'm not sure yet, but usually I think they're going to be around anywhere from $6,000 to $7,500, and I don't know who qualifies for them yet. So what happens, all this info is going to come to you Monday. You are going to have a worksheet in that package. If you want a unit, you will fill out the worksheet. You're going to put your top 3 choices and include a maximum budget. It is imperative that you give me a max budget so that I get you a unit that fits into your max budget, okay? Now, you're going to try to get that back to us within 72 hours so that I can organize, package all my worksheets and get ready to go and get as many units as we can so we fill everybody's order. On your worksheet, you're going to indicate, or in your email when you send it back to us, oh, don't forget a picture of ID, preferably a driver's license because it has your address, okay? You're going to include whether you need to come to the sales center or not. If you do need to, you're going to tell us if you're available days or evenings, weekdays or weekends. Remember, from having open, reigning, and allowed to bring 100 clients into a sales center pre-COVID, now we might have 2-3 appointments a day spread out over 5-6 days. If we don't get you in before you sign your deal, and all signings will be done online, okay, so what will happen is you will sign for your deal, or your clients will sign for their deal, and then the next day you will meet up with me to give me the checks and I will take them in, okay? So if we don't get you into the sales center and you want to go in before, into the sales center, if we don't get you in before you sign, we will get you in after, during the 10-day cooling off period. So don't worry about that. Some other questions that were asked about: is the address south of Lakeshore? No, it's a couple blocks north of Lakeshore. Okay, Lakeshore is where all the shops are, and that is, I think it's about a 4-minute walk from door to the stores. I told you about the deposit structure, okay? A person told me if they want to bring their agent. If you want to bring your agent, you have every opportunity to do that. But the fact is, here's how it works. Your agent doesn't have access to this. Only 15 to 20 agents do. And I'm going to be honest about this. If you bring your agent who's not a platinum agent, they'll have to buy through someone like myself or somebody else, okay? If they do that, we're not going to give, we have our own clients to take care of, and then obviously we're going to take care of the agents that buy through us secondary. So you may not get your unit that way. But feel free to contact us. We also have some incentives that First Access Condos offer specifically to their clients. Okay, we can discuss that over the phone. We sometimes cater them specifically to each client's needs. My number is 416-662-5701. Remember, try to get those worksheets back to us as soon as possible. Call me if you need anything. Text me. You don't have to necessarily email me. My phone number is there. Get the worksheets back to us. Thank you. Have a wonderful time. I hope everybody enjoyed this, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye for now.